10 types of online scams you must know to protect your identity and avoid significant losses. Learn how to identify an online scam and find out why millions of people worldwide get cheated time after time. Understands the types of online scams as well as tips and tricks that most experts, including FBI cybercrime personnel, use to actually recognize an online scam, no matter how well it's put together. Note, this is the first video in a trilogy. We recommend you also watch videos 2 and 3. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm doing fantastic today. I hope you are doing marvelous. If you're doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today we want to talk about a very important topic. 10 online scams you must know. Number 1, the COVID-19 coronavirus scams. Now, scammers are using the spread of this pandemic to take advantage of people across the world, in the United States, in the UK, in Canada, in Australia, New Zealand, and all over the world. And a lot of times, they might be pretending to be government agencies providing information on COVID-19 through text messages and emails, fishing for your information. Now, remember that these emails contain malicious links and attachments that are designed to steal your personal and financial information. So if you have anything coming from MyGov or .gov, whatever, with a malicious link to more information on COVID-19, never click on it, right? Scammers are also pretending to be government agencies and other entities offering to help you with applications for financial assistance, right? Remember the IRS tax stimulus checks? They're asking you that they can help you to apply for the tax stimulus checks or payment for staying home. Don't do this, right? If you have a fake economic support payment text, another thing they're doing is those scammers are pretending to be from real and well-known businesses such as travel agents, banks, insurance providers, and telco companies. And again, they're using various excuses around COVID-19 to ask for your personal and financial information, to lure you into opening malicious links or attachments. Never do that. Never, ever, ever. To gain remote access to your computer, to seek payment for a fake service or something you didn't even purchase, right? And a lot of times they would also, one of the things they've done is that scammers have created fake online stores claiming to sell products that do not exist, such as cures or vaccinations for COVID-19 and products such as face masks. All right, so this is very important. Please stay away from those. You really want to stay away from those elements, those sort of messages. Now, scams targeting businesses. If you are a small business owner, scammers are using COVID-19 and business email compromise scams. And what they do is they pretend to be a supplier or business you usually deal with, right? So they use COVID-19 as an excuse to divert your usual account payments to a different bank account. So your payment goes to the scammer instead of the real business. Again, don't do this. Now, number 2, besides coronavirus scams, we also have attempts to gain your personal data. Now, this kind of scam is ongoing. It's been around for the last 20 years. Okay, scammers use all kinds of sneaky approaches to steal your personal details, right? Once they obtain those, they can use your identity to commit fraudulent activities such as using your credit card or opening a bank account. So you have hacking, right? Hacking occurs when a scammer gains access to your personal information by using technology to break into your computer, your network, or your mobile device, right? So you have examples include things like malware and ransomware. They exploit security weaknesses, right? Those weaknesses can include reused and easily guessed passwords, out-of-date antivirus software, and unsecured Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connections. Payment redirection scams. So if you're a business, a scammer can pose as one of your regular suppliers to tell you that their banking details have changed, right? So you send them the money instead of your real supplier. You also have identity theft. So besides hacking, you have identity theft. This is a type of fraud that involves using someone else's identity to steal money or gain other benefits, right? So common methods of identity thefts might include phishing, hacking, remote access scams, malware and ransomware, fake online profiles. We've seen this a lot also. So the scammer sets up a fake profile on social media or dating site and sends you a friend request. You have document theft. So the scammer gains access to your private information through unlocked mailboxes or discarded personal documents, right? Such as insurance renewals. We've seen this a lot also. Healthcare records and utility bills. All right. So phishing also is an attempt by scammers to actually trick you into giving out your personal information, such as your bank account numbers, passwords, and credit cards. All right. So the whole idea here is that, and when it comes to phishing, and I want to mention this, that phishing messages, they are designed to look genuine. And what they do, often they copy the format used by the organization the scammer is pretending to represent, right? All of us, we have received phishing messages from PayPal, from Amazon, from real banks, you know, and what they do is they include the branding and the logo, right? So, but once you click on the link, one thing you want to do is you want to hover around the link and see the actual location of that link. So if you hover around, you would see that the link itself is not, for instance, doesn't come from Amazon or PayPal, but redirects you to a fake website that look like the real deal. All right. So this is something you want to pay attention to. And also there are two other things I want to mention before closing this chapter here. You have something called whaling and spear phishing. The scammer targets a business in an attempt to get confidential information for fraudulent purposes. So to make their request appear legitimate, they use details and information specific to the business that they have obtained elsewhere, right? And then you have farming. Now, farming here spells PHARMING. In this kind of a scam, the scammer redirects you to a fake version of a legitimate website you're trying to visit. This is done by basically infecting your computer with malware that causes you to be redirected to the fake site, even if you tap the real address or click on the bookmark link. Okay, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still having a conversation here around 10 types of online scams you must know to protect your identity and avoid significant losses. If you love the quality and clarity of the content so far, please consider subscribing to our channel. Turn on the notification bell so you can be informed whenever we drop a new gem, and we do so every single day, rain or shine. Like this content, share, and most importantly, comment. You want to share and comment. Everybody needs to know about this info. This is very important. Everybody has to have the ability, has to get a chance to protect themselves against those types of online scams. Number 3, buying or selling. Now, scammers prey on consumers and businesses that are buying or selling products and services. Now, remember that not every transaction is legitimate, even if it appears to be so. So you have classified scams, right? Those will trick you. Those will trick shoppers on classified websites into thinking they're dealing with a legitimate contact, but it's actually a scammer. False billing. False billing scams request you or your business to pick fake invoices for things like advertising, domain name renewals, office supplies that you didn't order, directory listings. You have health and medical products. Those kind of scams may sell you healthcare products at low price that you never receive, or make false promises for their cure-all products, medicine, and treatments. You also have the mobile premium services, right? This is where they will typically create an SMS competition or trivia scam to trick you into paying extremely high call or text rates when replying to an unsolicited text message on your mobile or smartphone. You have online shopping scams. This involves scammers pretending to be legitimate online sellers, either with a fake website or a fake ad, on a genuine retailer site. Overpayment scams. This we've seen this also very a lot of times in the last few years. The overpayment scams work by getting you to refund a scammer who has sent you too much money for an item you are selling. And this applies to businesses and resellers on eBay, on Facebook, and on other websites, on Mercari or Poshmark. And one of my favorite scams, it's just so funny. I just laugh anytime I hear about this, but people actually fall for it. The psychic / clairvoyant scams, right? Psychic and clairvoyant scams, they're just designed to trick you into giving away your money, usually offering help in exchange for a fee. Of course, help should be in quotes, right? Because there might be some element of truth in the psychic thing, but honestly, the majority of them on the internet are just a bunch of scams. At least I'm not the one saying it. That's what a lot of governments worldwide are saying. I'm not even saying that all psychics and clairvoyants are fake. There are a lot of good folks out there, but unfortunately you have rotten apples in every profession, and the rotten apples are actually tarnishing the entire profession, unfortunately. And this is unfortunate. All right, number 4, dating and romance. Now this is another area where we've seen a lot of online scams in the last 10 to 15 years, right? Scammers will take advantage of people looking for romantic partners, often via dating websites, social media, or apps, by pretending to be prospective companions, right? And what they do, they were so smart. They will play on emotional triggers to get you to provide money, gifts, or personal details. So, and this works very simply. So, the scammers usually use online dating websites, but occasionally they might use social media or email to make contact. They have been known to telephone their victims as a first introduction, and this sort of scams are also known as catfishing. Now, scammers typically create fake online profiles designed to lure you in, right? They can use a fictional name or falsely take on the identities of real, trusted people such as military personnel, aid workers, or professionals working abroad. Now, this sort of scammers, they usually express strong emotions for you in a relatively short period of time, and they will suggest you move the relationship away from the website to a more private channel, such as a phone, email, or instant messaging, right? So the thing here is that if you are in the United States, for instance, those scammers will claim to be from the US or another Western country, but traveling or working overseas, right? And what they do with this, spend a lot of time to get your trust, to sort of shower you emotionally. They will shower you with loving words, sharing your personal information, and even sending you gifts, right? They may take months to build what may feel like the romance of a lifetime, and may even pretend to book flights to visit you, but never actually come. Now, in return, and this is where this is very bad, they will start bilk you out of millions of dollars or out of thousands of dollars. The FBI has a long catalog of people falling up for those sort of scams, dating scams. And again, once they have gotten you, once they have gotten your trust, they are pretty close to you in terms of romance, and they feel like they have gotten you. They start asking for money. They start asking for benefits. They start asking for rewards. They start asking for stuff. And this is where you get in trouble. Okay? So never do that. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweaty Kiwi. We're still having a conversation here about 10 types of online scam you must know to protect your identity and avoid significant losses. I've already given you 4. Now let's move on to number 5. Fake charities. Fake charities is just another one that I hate, but unfortunately they will prey on crisis, on disasters or emergencies such as floods, cyclones, earthquakes, hurricanes, and bushfires, to basically bilk people out of money. So scammers will steal your money by posing as a genuine charity. Not only do these scams cost you money, they also divert much needed donations away from legitimate charities and causes, right? The scammers, they would impersonate genuine charities, ask for a donation, or contact you claiming to collect money for natural disasters or major events. They will play on your emotion by claiming to help children who are ill or elders who are ill. They will, they basically will act as if they were running charities that conduct medical research or support disease sufferers and their families. They may also pose actually as individuals needing donations for health or other reasons, right? So this is something that you really want to stay away from. And if you've never heard of a charity before, or it is well known but you suspect the website, email, or letter, if you believe that those could be fake, stay away from it. Because remember, a fake website may look almost identical to a legitimate charity site, changing only the details of where to send donations. If you want to stay away if the person collecting donations on behalf of the charity does not have any identification. If you're asked to provide a cash donation, as they don't accept checks, stay away from that. If you're not given a receipt, or they give you a receipt that does not have the charity's detail on it, don't do it. Whenever you're put under pressure or made to feel guilty or selfish, if you don't want to donate, this is just phishing. Yeah. Now, if you are in the United States, make sure that the charity has a 501c3 number. So this is the IRS program whereby charities are required to register to actually get an authorization from the IRS to collect donations from private individuals and companies. And you want to get their EIN, because that will help you claim that donation on your tax returns at year end. You can check that info. That info is public and it's available on the IRS website, irs.gov. You can search for the charity and make sure it is legit. Number 6, investments. This is another area where people are losing a lot of money. Americans and people in the Western world are usually spend a lot of money. If you're looking for a fast way to make money, watch out, because scammers have invented all sorts of fake money making opportunities to prey on your enthusiasm and get hold of your cash. So you have things like betting and sports investment scam, right? So betting and sports investment scam, they trying to convince you to invest in a foolproof systems or software that can guarantee you a profit on sporting events, right? So common examples of sports investment scams, you can have computer prediction software, betting syndicates, sports investments, right? So beside the betting and sports investment scams, you also have the traditional investment scams, right? So these scams involve getting you or your business to pay some cash on the premise of a questionable financial opportunity. Now, here are the common types of investment scams. You have investment cold calls, somebody just calling you to be a stockbroker or portfolio manager, and they offers financial advice or quote unquote instruments advice. You have the share promotion and hot tips. So the scammer will encourage you to buy shares in a company that they predict is about to increase in value, right? You can be contacted by email, or the message will be posted in a forum. Watch out for those. Investment seminars, right? Those are just very bad. They are promoted by promising motivational speakers, investment experts, or self-made millionaires who will give you expert advice on investing. Of course, expert advice is in quotes, right? Because nobody really knows. And those seminars and workshops are traditionally designed to convince you into following high-risk investment strategies, such as borrowing large sums of money to buy property, or investments that involve lending money on a no security basis or other risky terms. And you also have something called superannuation. We've seen this a lot in the UK, in Canada, in some places in Australia. Superannuation schemes, or they offer to give you early access to your super fund, often through a self-managed super fund or for a fee. And that offer may come from a financial advisor or a scammer posing as one, right? So that scammer may ask you to agree to a story to ensure the early release of your money, and then acting as your financial advisor, they will deceive your superannuation company into paying out your super benefits directly to them. And remember, once they have your money, the scammer may take large fees out of the released fund or leave you with nothing at all. All right, I'll be right back right after this for more types of online scams you must know to protect your identity and avoid significant losses. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm still continuing our conversation here. Online scam number 7, jobs and employment. This is another area where a lot of people have been losing money. So jobs and employment scams trick you into handing over your cash by offering you a guaranteed way to make money fast or give you a high-paying job for little effort. Now, it's just kind of funny. I remember a few years ago, one of my mentors was telling me, never pay someone to work for them. In other words, if you're going to an interview and the first, there is a war, the first red flag here is anyone ever ask you to pay money to work for them, that's just a bad deal. They should be paying you, not the other way around, right? So how does the jobs and employment scam work? The scammer contacts you by email, letter, or phone and offers you a job that requires very little efforts for high returns or a guaranteed way to make money quickly. You may even come across false job opportunities on classified ad websites. Now, the job offered may require you to do something simple such as stuffing envelopes or, assembling the product using materials that you have to buy from the employer. To accept the job, you will be asked to pay for a starter kit or materials relevant to the job or scheme, right? So if you pay the fee, you may not receive anything, or what you do receive is not what you expected or promised. Okay, so stay away from those. You also have the pyramid schemes. Now, pyramid schemes are illegal and very risky. Get rich quick schemes that can end up costing you a lot of money. You may have heard about a pyramid schemes from friends, a Ponzi schemes, from friends, family, or neighbors. Usually they will recruit members at seminars, home meetings, over the phone, by email, post, or social media. Now, in the typical pyramid scheme, you are required to pay to join. So the scheme relies on you convincing other people to join up and to part with their money as well. So in order for everyone in the scheme to make a profit, there needs to be an endless supply of new members, right? Again, this is what we usually call a Ponzi scheme, and Bernie Madoff has been a notorious representation of that. In reality, the number of people willing to join the scheme, and therefore the amount of money coming into the scheme, will drop very quickly, right? So some pyramid scheme promoters, they disguise their true purpose by introducing products that are overpriced, of poor quality, difficult to sell, or of little value. So making money out of a recruitment is still their main aim. So stay away from that. Now, I'm not saying it is all pyramid schemes or Ponzi schemes, but just remember that it is against the law to promote or participate in a pyramid scheme. Number 8, threats and extortion. This is another big one we've seen in the last 15 years on the internet. Scammers will use any means possible to steal your identity or your money, including threatening your life or hijacking your computer. So they use a variety of tools, malware and ransomware. So malware tricks you into installing software that allows scammers to access your files and track what you're doing, while ransomware demands payment to unlock your computer or files. Now, malware, we are mostly, I think individuals are known for, individuals are familiar with malware, right? Because the malware scammers send emails and social media messages at random with links purporting to be on something topical. It can be the news, an event, or something interesting. If you click on the link, you may be taken to a fake website that looks like the real deal, complete with logos and branding of legitimate sites. In order to view the videos, you'll be asked to install some kind of software such as codec to be able to access the video format. If you download the software, your computer will be infected with malware, And again, malware comes from malicious software. It's just a portmanteau of malicious software. Another way of delivering a malware scam is through websites and pop-ups that offer free, quote-unquote free, of course, file downloads including music, movies, and games, or free access to content such as adult sites. Let's talk now about ransomware. Now, ransomware is a type of malware that blocks or limits access to your computer or files. And what they do is they will demand a ransom to be paid to the scammer for them to be unlocked. Now, lately, before they used to ask for ransom in cash or in fiat money, lately they've been using the Bitcoin because of it, the currency's inherent inability to be traced, the ability for the scammer to part ways with your money with no problem. So infected computers in a typical ransomware scheme, infected computers often display messages to convince you into paying the ransom. They may pretend to be from the police and claim you have committed an illegal activity and must pay a fine, or they may simply demand payment for a key to unlock your computer. If you pay the ransom, remember, there is no guarantee your computer will be unlocked. You also have threats to life, arrest, or other, right? So threats to life, arrest, or other, they involve demands by scammers to pay money that you supposedly owe, and threats if you do not cooperate, right? So these games they use force, they use undue pressure, threats to frighten you into handing over your money, and it can even include threats to your life. So the scammer may call you and pressure you into paying immediately, threaten you with arrest, and sometimes they can even say that they will send the police to your house if you refuse to pay. They can also send you emails claiming you owe money for things like a speeding fee, tax office debt, or unpaid bill. The bottom line here is that if you get this sort of threats to life, arrest, or other, please contact law enforcement. Remember, you are always safe if you are able to talk to your entourage, to your friends and family members, but also law enforcement. This show is the first of a trilogy. So like I said, we have 2 other shows that are dedicated to the whole topic of online scams, and in video number 3 we'll talk about how to report those scams to law enforcement. So you don't want to miss that show. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you are doing fantastic. We are doing marvelous here, and let's just continue with the scam number 9. But before I do this, if you like this show so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so that we can reach you whenever we drop a new show. We do this every single day. We cover a variety of shows. We are the largest infotainment show, the world's largest infotainment show. We cover a lot of shows, a lot of topics, and like this content if you appreciate the value we are adding to your life, to your business operations. Share this content. Is very important. We want the whole world to know about this so that people will not fall prey and be victim to this kind of crazy scams we have out there. And comment below, have you been victim of a scam? Let us know how you handled it. Let us know how the whole thing ensued. Let us know how the whole thing unfolded. We'll really appreciate that. Scam number 9, unexpected money. Scammers invent convincing and seemingly legitimate reasons to give you false hope about offers of money, right? Those are no get-rich-quick schemes, so always think twice before handing over your details or dollars. Now remember, if it's too easy to be true, if it sounds too easy to be true, then you know it's not true, right? If it were that easy to get rich quickly, everybody will do it, right? So stay away from those. So the unexpected money comes from 2 ways. You have actually 3 ways. You have the inheritance scams, you have the Nigerian scams, and you have the rebate scams. So the inheritance scams work this way. The scammer offers you the false promise of an inheritance to trick you into parting with your money or sharing your bank or credit card details, right? They can contact you out of the blue to tell you that you can claim a large inheritance from a distant relative or wealthy benefactor, right? So they can contact you through phone, letter, text message, email, or social networking message. So they might pose, the scammer that is, might pose as a lawyer, banker, or other foreign official and claim that the deceased left no other beneficiaries. You know, I mean, think about it. If the deceased left no other beneficiaries, why wouldn't they personally get the money? Why would they want to contact you out of a blue? So this is just a red flag there. Besides inheritance scams, you have something called Nigerian scams. Now, Nigerian scams involve someone overseas offering you a share in a large sum of money or a payment on the condition you help them to transfer money out of their country. While these scams originated in Nigeria, but now they come from all over the world. All right. So again, it's typical process here. The scammer will contact you out of the blue by letter, email, text message, or through social media. They will tell you an elaborate story about a large amount of money trapped in a bank during events such as civil war or coup, often in countries currently in the news, right? Or the scammer may tell you about a large inheritance that is quote unquote difficult to access because of government restrictions or taxes in their country, right? Now, Nigerian scams are often called Nigerian 419 scams because the first wave of them, as I said earlier, came from Nigeria. Now, the 419 part of the name comes from the section of Nigeria's criminal code which outlaws the practice. These scams now come from anywhere in the world. The third category of unexpected money are what we call rebate scams. These scams trying to convince you that you are entitled to a rebate or reimbursement from the government, a bank, or a trusted organization. And again, they can contact you through email, phone, social media, and they tell you, you are entitled to a reimbursement or rebate, such as for overpaid taxes, bank fees, or some sort of compensation. So again, you want to stay away from those. The number 10 and the last type of online scam you must know to protect your identity and avoid significant losses is unexpected winnings, right? So if you have a surprise win, don't be lured by it. This game is trying to trick you into giving money up front or your personal information in order to receive a prize from a lottery or a competition that you never entered. Right? So you have the scratchy scams. Those take the form of fake scratchy cards that promise you some kind of a prize or on the condition that the winner pays a collection fee. It's crazy, right? But yeah, it happens. You have the travel prize scams. Those are attempts to trick you into giving money to the scammer to claim a reward, quote unquote reward, such as a free or discounted holiday. You also have unexpected prize and lottery scams. Those are very popular, especially in the States and Canada. Unexpected prize and lottery scams work by asking you to pay some sort of fee in order to claim your prize or winnings from a competition or lottery you never entered. I mean, so anytime you receive something, a letter, a message, a social media message from any person asking you, first of all, telling you that you have won a prize, you got to ask yourself, have I entered this competition in the first place? Have I entered this lottery drawing in the first place? If the answer is no, then stay away, run a mile away. And the second thing is, if they're asking you to pay to collect the rewards, to collect the prize, this is another red flags, right? So you want to stay away from those. So folks, this is really the conversation. This is up for the conversation for today. I just want to give you a quick recap. So I spoke to you today about 10 types of online scams you must know to protect your identity and avoid significant losses. Number 1, COVID-19 scams. 2, attempts to gain your personal data. 3, buying or selling. 4, dating and romance. 5, fake charities. 6, investments. 7, jobs and employment. 8, threats and extortion. 9, unexpected money. 10, unexpected winnings. This is it, folks. So today's call to action is very simple. As I said earlier, here's a reminder.
This is the first video in a trilogy. We recommend you also watch videos 2 and 3. We'll put the links in the description. Video 2 will talk about online scams, how to spot a fake, how to protect yourself and avoid fraud, and where to get help if you've been duped. And video number 3, how to report an online scam to law enforcement. Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate that. Thank you for your attention. Until next time, remember, stay marvelous.